Hola from the west side. It's me, DC the Purple Diva, and it is time for Not So Random Chat. So go grab your coffee, your tea, or whatever your libation is tonight, and let's start to talk about whatever we want to. I'll be right with you guys. Ooh, 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 ooh. Hola from the west side. Happy Wednesday, y'all. I hope everybody's having a great day. I am trying to get it together. A little late for my not so random chat tonight, but I was listening to some information that just had me kind of freaked out. But apparently, a 22-year-old in New York City shot his mom in the head yesterday after having a conversation with her about him getting a job. That's right. That's what I'm saying. This is insane, y'all. So I'm gonna read a little bit of what I found. So let me just pull it up. And I'm just gonna share that with you guys. And I know I'm on the StreamYard, so it may be a little bit of a delay in me seeing people's comments as they come in the chat. But if you come on in, smash that like button, share out this video, and sit back and chill. But we're gonna start with this rather serious story. You know, because this. So I'm just gonna give a little commentary on it, and you can find this out on NBC New York's website. And the story reads, a New York City man kills his mom after she asked him to get a job, family says. A 22-year-old has been accused of killing his own mother after an argument over whether to get a job. A woman was found dead inside her New York apartment and was allegedly shot by her own son following a conversation about him needing to get a job, according to family members. The NYPD confirmed that the 22-year-old fatally shot his mother in the head in her 15th floor apartment at Lehman Village Houses. He was arrested on yesterday, just half a block from the East Harlem crime scene, with the murder weapon still in his possession. His family members are now calling for him to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. His uncle wants his nephew to rot in jail for the rest of his life. Y'all, this is crazy. This is a 22-year-old young man who I'm going to assume is fully capable of getting out there and getting a job. Okay. I'm going to assume that this child, because he's a child to me, didn't have any kind of learning disabilities or anything that would prevent him from getting a job. Hey, C. Parker. Yeah. I'm going to assume that none of that was going on with him. But so this happens in New York. Now I've listened to a couple of other, stories, a couple of other people doing their commentary on it earlier today. And I guess a few people have indicated that the family was from the islands. Okay. And so it was, this is the island mentality. No, this is not. And I agree with the other content creator who I caught talking about it just briefly earlier. So shouts out to Faith! Exclamation point. But he's 22 years old and he's American. Even if his mama is from the islands, he was born here. But just as we are seeing and we have seen, sisters are not respected in the United States. No one protects us. No one was there, to protect her. And sadly, from her 22-year-old son. And she had other children. So now her other children, and there were multiple children, are left without a mother. This is crazy. I mean, this is not we keep seeing this happening in New York, you guys. And I'm not saying it's not happening in other areas, but this is the second time in how many in the last 2 months that there's been an incident with some madness against a Black woman in New York City. The last one was those crazy young punks, throwing that woman in the trash and stuff. That was in New York. This time, a young man is shooting his mama because she asked him to get a job. So, that's crazy. This generation that is around today, they are very, very different from my generation and the generation after me. Okay. They're because you know what? My whole thing was when I was growing up, when I went to college, I had no intention of ever going back home because I was grown. And now, granted, it's not always fun to be an adult, but once you are at a certain age, that's what you should be striving to do. So this little Regin gonna shoot his mama because he don't want to get a job. You gonna kill your mama. So now you won't have to worry about getting a job because you're gonna be in jail for the rest of your life. You're gonna be working too in jail. I'm just shaking my head at this, the senselessness of this. I know that this generation is very different, from, Xers and boomers, Boomers and Xers kids, you know, I mean, we generally wanted to get out the house. Okay. We was just trying to get gone when we were grown. But then our kids, and I'm speaking of us Xers and the generation after us, because Xers started in the 60s, you know, so the children that we produced started being born in the 80s and in the 90s. Our kids were born in the 80s and the 90s. Okay. Those children are now grown. And a lot of them don't want to leave home. They stay home forever and they don't have no jobs. I'm not saying this is with all of them, but I know a lot. Hey, uppity, I know that you see a lot of kids that don't leave the house when they get grown. But here's the thing. Most parents, we got a rule. Once you're grown, you either going to go to school or you're going to get a job. Go to school or you're going to get a job. Those are the choices. And you know, the free ride. You think you're going to get a free ride forever from your parents? You think your parents are supposed to give you a free ride forever? And your mama, a 22-year-old man should be ashamed of himself that his mama had to ask him to go get a job. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people, they don't leave home. These kids are not leaving home. I'm gonna use my best friend as an example. I love her. I do. But, you know, I told you guys, you know, that my best friend has 6 kids. Okay. Now, and her kids are marrying out of her house. Nobody's leaving home till they get married. But that's what she did too. She stayed home until she got married. You know, she left home when she got married. But she got married in her you know, like right after college. Like, you know, she got out of college. She was engaged while she was in college. She broke it off with that guy, and then she got with, you know, her childhood sweetheart. But she got engaged, you know, she got married like a couple of years out of college. And then she was out and she was gone. But this generation, her kids, they all went to college. They're all going to college, but they're married. They don't leave the house until they get married. Now, both of her daughters are married. They are gone. One of her sons is married. He is gone. Okay, but that still leaves 3 kids who still live at home, and all of her children are grown. But her children all have jobs. They are contributing to the household because, number one, that's a 2-parent household, and her husband ain't having it. He don't have a problem with the kids staying home until they get married, but they're not going to be at home and not have a job. And see, I don't understand who are we raising? If we are raising sons and daughters who think they have a right to not work and just sit around and kick it. And what does it say about what this young man saw Black women as, that he would shoot his own mama in the head? What does that say, y'all? He had no respect for Black women. And he had no respect for his mother. And we keep seeing this, that our Black women, we are not being protected. We do not all have a Black man there to protect us. And it's sad to say, this woman needed someone to protect her from her own child. I know what that feels like, but from a different perspective, you know, because I have a child with a disability who's an adult who hasn't had a meltdown in over a year. Hallelujah to the Most High. But when he was, y'all saw my face when he bit me. You know, but I'm talking about someone who has autism. This young man had no autism. This young man was angry because his mama told him he needed to get a job. And he didn't want to do that. So he went and got a gun and he shot her. He ended the conversation permanently. And I don't get it. Why does this generation hate this generation of Black men? Because this is Black men. Why does this generation of Black men hate Black women so much and think so little of us that they don't even have respect for their own mama? Because he shot her like she was a dog in the street, y'all, and left her there. Left her there, y'all. Now, how much are we going to hear about this story? Now, this is Black on Black crime. But here's the thing. This same situation happens in white America too, y'all. It's this generation. This generation doesn't have respect for their parents. On top of the reality of this young man not having respect for his mother or any other Black woman, because that's what he sees around him. And we all want to know where the hell is the daddy? Where's daddy when this 22-year-old son is doing this to his mama? Is daddy around? Is daddy locked up? And that's why he ain't there? And that's why she's in this situation? It's crazy, y'all. I feel some kind of way about this. Because that young man is like around my own son's age, y'all. My son's only a couple of years older than this young man. Only a couple of years older. Let me see what you guys are saying. They have no respect. I mean, we see young men and young women of all ethnicities talking crazy to their parents. And I'm like, and in my head, I'm thinking, I'd have never got away with that. I'd be dead. But you see, this was before they called everything child abuse. There was a time when you could do some type of disciplining to your kids. Now these people can't discipline their kids. So this is what they raise. So this is what they raise. Now I will tell you that although my son has autism, he was disciplined when he was growing up. Obviously, to the extent of that he could understand. But he understood corporal punishment. He understood getting his little legs popped when he was younger. Now, obviously, when he got older, that was not part of the thing, and yeah, you got to have a conversation, but I don't understand how someone that you brought into the world thinks it's their place to take you out. Because that's basically what he did. He knew what he was doing. He ran, he left, and still had the gun on him, y'all, when they found him. And yes, his family is from the islands, but this is not how island men treat their women. I'm sorry. No. This is how American men treat their women. This is how American kids in this day and age show no respect for their parents. Now, I mean, we've seen the dramatizations on Maureen and on the Jerry Springer show, where, they've had these crazy, teens acting out and everything. Remember Catch Me Outside, girl? On Dr. Phil. But those kids, it's not just them. There are a lot of kids out here who I don't know if parents aren't raising their kids the same way to respect them. I don't, I just don't know. But there's no way in hell that a young man should be that upset with his parent about getting a job that he pulls out a gun and shoots them. That should never happen. But it happened yesterday. It happened yesterday, y'all. Yesterday. The anniversary of Kobe Bryant and Gigi Bryant and all those other people. Yesterday was the anniversary of when they died. Remember, it happened on a Sunday last year, but because last year was a leap year and February had 29 days in it, it pushed it to a Tuesday. There were a lot of, celebrations for Kobe yesterday. But many millennials are helpless. Being helpless, they have no sense of getting a job, is what you mean. And, I know, like, at least right now, maybe the job prospects are quite as what they were. But 5 years ago, this was still happening back then, where kids were, still at home. Hey, Miss Pamela. But 22 is generally the age that, if you go to college, that's when you're getting out of college. So, you have some of these kids that are coming back home from school, or and they're not getting a job. And we don't know how long he was just hanging around there before she finally got to the point where she was like, I need you to get a job. And it was apparently not a conversation. It was an argument about him getting a job. And now this mother is gone at the hand of her own son. Hey, 1SP. Thank you for liking and sharing. Let me see if there's anything else in it. The whole family wants this boy to rot under the jail. I told y'all. The family is up in arms. And when they asked him, when asked why he shot his own mother, his uncle said because he's a lazy bastard. And his sister told him to get a job and threw him out of the house. So he got thrown out. So he came back and shot his mama. Because she threw him out because he wouldn't get a job. Boy, they saying he's African, but the family are immigrants. But he was born and raised in the United States. His mother had been in this country for 25 years, which means he was American. So even if the family was African, that's not how African men treat their mamas. So that was a definitely American trait. They don't treat their mamas like that in African countries. They revere their parents. You can go, Ghana, Nigeria, Ethiopia, Somali, Mali. See, that's the thing is that they broke up the family of, a male and a female and kids with Black people here in America. But it is alive and well and strong and thriving on the continent of Africa, which is much bigger than the continent of South America, in case y'all didn't know that. Whenever y'all see Africa looking like it's about the same size as South America on your little globes and on your little maps, just know that's a lie. So you got 50-something countries over there with as many tribes, but that is a strong thing within their culture is the reverence of the parents. So, and there are some matriarchal, societies in Africa. But that has to do with the patriarchal system here in this country. But this dude, yeah, we're not gonna blame this on his African roots. No, we're gonna blame it on his African American roots and what he's seeing. There is unfortunately, from what I'm seeing, this is happening to Black women all the time in New York City. Like, what the F? Really? And I'm talking about being disrespected and not protected. Disrespected and not protected. But it happens to Black women in this country, period. Because they think, I don't know. We're supposed to be strong, our femininity Isn't the femininity, or the right kind of femininity to be protected? I call BS. My femininity is is just that kind. Okay? And I attract that kind of man, the kind who wants to protect. An alpha man, definitely. I'm like, that's just a bunch of BS. This young man disrespected his mom by not respecting her house. And so when she put him out, his anger took over and he came back and took the life of the one who gave him life. I'm with the family. I'm with the family. Cause see, we talk about a grown man. And clearly he has some anger issues that need to be fixed. Clearly he got some anger issues. All right, let me jump back in the chat. I had to jump out of the chat to go read some more for you guys. That is so crazy, Miss Pamela. And I wasn't even going to talk about that. I just had come on, and I was going to come on to just listen to the replay of Miss Jovi's story time. And I had listened to this before I listened to the story time. But I did listen to her story time too. I have to say, see, her best friend is an Aquarian. Her best friend, is a bounce back girl. Yeah, I'll have to give y'all, like I said, we have some, DC will have to give y'all some story times about things that have happened when I was younger. When I was young and dumb and crazy. Y'all, I did some crazy things. And I did some crazy things for friends. Helped friends out of crazy situations. East Coast and West Coast. Because see, I have ventures from the East Coast, and then I have adventures that happened when I came to the West Coast. Or to the left coast, as they call it. To the left, to the left. Oh man, my mom had the boomerang shoe though. See, I mean, I even as an adult, my mom later in life, when my mom came to California, my mom lived with me, and I had two houses, and she lived in my second house, and even then, I was not going to be disrespectful to my mama. I just reminded her that I was an adult because I paid the bills. And that I was grown. Hey, Angels Army. And that I paid the bills. So, but no, I could not be disrespectful like that to my mama. I'm like, and to raise a weapon to either one of my parents, I'd never do anything like that. I have too much respect for my parents. I would never do something like that. But this young man, 22, got mad because his mama threw him out because he wouldn't get a job. So I'm sure that she gave him a chance. And if they were African, if his family was from somewhere on the continent, just like those who are from the islands, they have a very different work ethic than African Americans in some cases. And they like my daddy, got two, three jobs. And so maybe, if this young man couldn't get one and he got put out. So now I wonder what, okay, so my brother got put out when he was 18 because he wouldn't do what my dad wanted him to do. So he got put out because he was grown. My nephew got put out when he was 18 because he raised up on my sister. Like he was a grown man and he could do what he wanted. And she said, oh, okay, put him out. In neither one of those situations did either one of these young men think to go back to the house that they had been put out of with a gun to shoot the parent. Now, my nephew's not much older than this young man, But in my family, we're raised a certain way. It's like, once you're grown, if you're not in school, you're gonna get a job, or you're not gonna be here. You are contributing to the household. Even though my son has autism, he's contributing to the household. He has money coming into the household because he has to pay rent. So I don't understand. This was an able-bodied, but he was lazy, and I hate to say it, that his mama had unfortunately raised a Dusty who didn't even respect his mama. And now he's going to be on Rikers Island. That's where they're going to send him. Yeah, it's just and I know that's how all my friends are. All my friends are the same way that their parents were. You go to school or you get a job. And if you don't go to school and you stay here and you get a job, you're paying rent. You don't get to stay for free. I couldn't wait to leave home. I could not wait to leave home. That was me though. Maybe I'm just different. I couldn't wait to go out there, go to school, get a job, grow up. Now, it's not so fun being grown and having to pay all your own bills all the time. No, it's not fun. It's not fun. But I do it because I'm grown. And I keep a job. And to keep a roof over my head and everybody else's heads, It's like, but what man doesn't think that way? This young man didn't understand what his mama was trying to teach him. And I just wonder what was going on as she was being raised. I'm not blaming the mother for what happened. for what happened to her, but I'm wondering what was going on as he was growing up that he would feel right, first of all, to even argue and disrespect your mama when you're still living in her house. And then he left and went and got a gun. I guess he was showing her. I guess he was showing her. Now his butt. Y'all know. I try not to say bad words on on here. Of course, I haven't even, because I do want this to be monetized after it, rolls through. And I figured out, as long as I don't talk about certain subjects, they'll give me full monetization on my live stream. So we're going to keep it that way. I have more greens than those yellow thingies. Speaking of monetization, I got my freaking pin. And nobody knew what I was talking about. I was asking other content creators, and everybody's like, you're monetized. What are you talking about, a pin? I knew I was right about that pin. And I also knew that I hadn't gotten it. So finally, I went and looked in my email. And I'm going to go back to what I was talking about. I went and looked in my email. And although they've been harassing me about it since the beginning of the month, they didn't even send it out to me until the 16th, like a week and a half ago. And I didn't actually get it until it hit my mailbox the end of this week, end of last week. Mind you guys, it came from Bell, California. Now, I happen to live in California, but it still took a week in COVID. But I got it. So I'm going to go into my YouTube studios and verify that I am who I am, because apparently I must have enough money and they must want, and they can't pay me my money. Because you guys see, I haven't even been going in there to see how much money I have, because in my head I'm calculating it up, because y'all know I was a math major in college, and it's not $100, but I need to go look, because I need to see how much AdSense, how much I get for clicks, because I'm figuring it's not probably that much. But we're going to work on that. Oh, you stay for your dad. Well, here's the thing. I left DC. I went to school near home my freshman year in college, and then I came to California. Then my father and my brother moved to California the next year. Then when my sister graduated from high school, she moved to California. Then my mother moved here in the 90s. So my entire family ended up in California, my entire immediate family. My brother now lives back on the East Coast, and my father lives on the East Coast. My sister and I are still here in California. I would love to be anywhere but California, but that's just me. I'm the only one in my house that doesn't want to be in California. I'm the only one in my house that doesn't want to be in California. So for right now, I'm overruled. So for right now, we're going to be here. But eventually, I'm going to get everybody to not want to be in California. We're going to be someplace else. preferably. I don't know. I like the Carolinas. You know, I like southern Georgia. You know, but you see, I can't even. It's as much to live in my hometown as it is to live in California, in LA. It's as expensive to buy a house in DC as to buy a house in LA. But I might still buy some property back there again. But you know what I would like to do? I would like to buy the house that I grew up in. Yeah, eventually buy it. It's like changed owners like twice since my parents sold it. But I would love to move back to that. I would love to own that house. I don't have to live there. I just would love to own it. You know what I mean? It was a 4-bedroom. And no, actually it was 3 bedrooms and a den. And 1 and 3/4 baths. Because, you know, the other bathroom had a shower. And we had a pool in the backyard. And we had like 1/4 of an acre of land. So I would just like to own that property again. I would just like to pull it back into my family. But, you know, that may or may not happen. It depends on what the people might want to be asking for when I'm ready to make that move. Because, you know, if they ask me some crazy money for it, I don't know. When my parents owned that house, they paid $70-something thousand for that property in the 70s. But it's way bigger than that now. Thank you, Miss Pamela. Yeah, I look like my mom a little bit, but my sister really looks like my mom. I look more like my father. It is scary. When I do you know how you do those Snapchat filters that turn you into a male? When I do the Snapchat filters that turn you into a man, I see my dad. I'm like, oh shoot, I look like my dad or my brother. I'm like, oh, let me turn this filter off. I look just like my dad. I mean, you know, and my brother, because he looks exactly like my dad. Both of us look like my dad. I know a lot of people are leaving California. People are going to Nevada. A lot of people have gone to Arizona. And then a lot of people are moving to Texas. But I just, you know, Texas, see, here's my thing with Texas. It's just flat. It's like flat. It's like there's no mountains. Nowhere. Not in Texas. And the tumbleweed that rolls across the interstates. But I got a lot of family in Texas because all my family, the majority of my family that was in New Orleans, because you know that's where my family's from. A lot of my family moved to Texas after Hurricane Katrina, and they never went back. So they live like in Dallas, in Houston, and then I have family up in Austin. Austin is beautiful. Northern Texas, beautiful. But nobody else in this house would move to Texas. So we won't be moving to Texas. Texas is, I mean, we could buy a nice house. I could buy a nice house a whole lot of places. Now, I'll tell you guys a place that's really, really nice, but I probably will never move there. But I could probably buy a beautiful piece of property, Alabama. And that's where my dad's family, part of his family is from. Because when they came into the country, I have to tell you, when the Cuban part of my family came into the country, they came into the Gulf and they came into the port of New Orleans. They came into this country through New Orleans. But then they ended up in Mobile, Alabama. Because that's where my dad's dad was. And my dad's. And my grandfather. And my uncle, my dad's brother, was born there on accident. My uncle was born in Mobile on accident because my grandparents were visiting. And he came earlier than expected. So my uncle Lorenzo, rest in peace, was born in Mobile. I told y'all my family, we have Spanish names. My uncle's name is Lorenzo. His name was Lorenzo. So he was born in Mobile. And my father was born where my grandparents lived at the time, which is Motown. So my dad, to this day, y'all, even though he hasn't lived in Detroit since he was a kid, he still calls soda pop. He will still ask you, you want some pop? He still calls soda pop. Funny. It's hilarious to me. Because that's definitely a Midwest thing. Because the rest of us know that it's soda. And then I believe in Texas, everything's a Pepsi. So you say you want a Coke Pepsi, you want a Sprite Pepsi, you want a root beer Pepsi, I guess. I don't know. You want a Dr. Pepper? I don't know. Does anybody drink Dr. Pepper anymore? Do they even make Dr. Pepper anymore? That was some nasty soda, y'all. To me. That soda was awful. Your mother was from Houston? Oh, really? Yep, I got family that lives in Houston. Isn't Galveston's like right down there on the tip, huh? Wow, yeah. I have a friend that lives, she went back there, but she used to be here in California, but she went back to Corpus Christi. She said that Corpus Christi is very similar to the weather here in Southern California. It doesn't get real humid there. I'm like, there's a part of Texas that doesn't get humid. I mean, see, like I could move to another climate from, California because I wear my hair natural. I started wearing my hair natural when I came to California. I just left, I was like, what am I perming my hair for? People are out here paying to get their hair to be curly like mine is if I would just leave it alone. But let me see what you guys saying. But my hair would still be the same because I keep my hair in braids. Y'all know. I'm trying to think. During the time that I have had this channel, I don't think, my hair's been in braids the entire time. I mean, I've taken it down a couple of times. I've taken it down a lot of times. But yeah, you guys just haven't seen it. Unless you follow me on Instagram. Because on Instagram, every time I take my hair down, I generally will post a picture of my hair so that people can see that I actually have hair. Let me see, where are we? It is almost 11 on the West Coast. On the West Side, it's almost 11. It is supposed to be raining the rest of this week, y'all. I have 3 vlogs that I'm editing for you guys. And I am trying to finish the editing on the first episode of the Coffee Talk series. So that should be out. Like, now that my sound is working well, I can do what I need to do. But I'm trying to think. On Friday, I'm going to see. Oh, you can't live in the South? Oh, you get in trouble with your mouth? Well, I don't even know if I could live in the South either. Hell, I get in trouble with my mouth here in California because you got white folk out here that. Anyway, I'm not going to even go there. I have a cousin that lives in Redlands, okay? Hey, Terry. I have a cousin that lives in Redlands, and she doesn't live in a Nubian community. The community that she lives in is not Nubian. So, yeah, I had to bite my tongue when I was at her house with her crazy neighbors. When they saw that she had all these black people in her family. See, they didn't realize that she had a big family and that there were so many of us. So it lives out here too. All right, I'm going to come on camera. I don't know where my son is. I think he went upstairs. But it's like when I come on camera, he comes running. Y'all can see my hair. It's a wrap day for me, so y'all know I have a wrap on. Let me just here comes baby. Y'all hear him? He hears me. He ear hustles, y'all. He ear hustles. Hey, see, I got my wrap on. Got my hair wrapped up. Looking cute with my wrap. Here comes David. Say hi.
Hi.
Hi. Okay. And I gotta show y'all this. Somebody gave me, I got a shirt from that movie. This is from the movie Queen and Slim. Somebody gave it to me. Somebody that worked on the movie. So got a copy. Got one of the t-shirts from the movie. Yeah, I have on this big t-shirt. Yes, so all y'all gonna see this big t-shirt. But next week, y'all. Next Thursday. Next Thursday is February the 4th. February the 4th is DC's birthday. You hear me? So I will be coming on multiple times that day. I will probably do a longer live that night because I think my dude has to work. So since he has to work, I'll come on. Maybe I'll have dinner with you guys on here. I'm not really a cake person, so yeah, not gonna do that. Maybe I'll have cupcakes, but yeah, it's gonna be my birthday. So yeah, it's gonna be my birthday. my birthday. So, I might have to definitely, see if I can find me some instrumentals and some stuff and everything, you know. But I will not be able to play like the kind of music I want to, but we'll make it work. We'll make it work because I want my stream to be monetized, especially on my birthday. Especially on my birthday. But I will be back on Friday. Yeah. Friday night. I'll be on. Hopefully on Friday I should be able to get on here by 9:30. I should have my act together that night. I should have my act together that night. And between now and Friday, I'm hoping to get either the finish. I'm editing the one where I show you guys all these different hairstyles that I did with my braids, or there's one where I made a curtain. It's already made. I took it down because I don't want you guys to see it. I literally take it down every time we get ready to do this, so you guys don't see it until I post until I post the vlog with it. So I'm gonna be posting it this week. But I will see you guys on Friday. Tomorrow you'll see my little pop-up. I might come on for a little while tomorrow. It just depends on what's going on. Whatever's going on. But until the next time, I have you guys peace and blessings from the west side. I'm out you. Peace. And it's hot in here. I got my water on standby. I'll see y'all on Friday in real time. Bye, you guys.